Hey guys, it's Brick Thunder, and today we're going to be unboxing, setting up, and doing a demo of the Lowe's Halloween 2023 12-foot Scarecrow. Alright, so first of all, huge thank you to Lowe's for sending me this guy. This is either my favorite or second favorite. It's very close between this and the 9-foot zombie. After seeing this in person, it's super impressive, super huge, and overall very detailed and very pro looking. So I have not set this guy up yet. I did see him at the Lowe's building, but other than that, not seen him yet. I have not even opened this box yet. So let's get to the unboxing. All right, so let's open this thing up. So there is a cardboard covering on top, so we can't really see much yet. But if we take this off, let's see what we can see. So we have clothing right here. And this is actually a normal packaged model. This is not a sample. So this should be exactly how all of them are sent out. Here is, clothing. This looks to be the shirt and the pants all in one bag right there. Pretty heavy, actually. We have some spacer boxes. Those are just boxes used for packaging, like this. And not this one, actually. This one actually has holes in it. This says it's the upper leg pull with control box. So both of those should be in that box right there. We have a spine or hunchback type piece. I'm not really sure where this goes. This is definitely a form piece though, for all of the clothing to look more realistic. We have his huge rib cage right here. Actually very similar to the 9-foot zombie. Both of them are made by Techie, so that does make sense. Looks pretty good right there. We have some ground stakes. That's pretty cool. I usually use arched rebar with the 12-footers because it holds really well, but if they're including ground stakes, that is pretty awesome. Here's his shoulder piece. This thing is awesome. It's got two huge prongs to hold this up. Very large. Looks really cool. Now here, this is a really cool piece. This is the scythe. This is by far the largest scythe out of any of the animatronics I own. Huge, and the staff of it is huge as well. It actually has a pin to hold it together, which is pretty cool, not just a plastic connection. Pretty surprised about that. That's pretty cool. Next, we have the head right here, and I'm going to bubble wrap this, and actually all of the rest of the pieces, I'm going to put this down for a second, all of the rest of the pieces are zip tied together, other than this one box, which is just a ton of leg pulls, as you can hear. But yeah, everything else right here is base, and there's also a hip piece down here, but other than that, it's all base pieces, and one more box at the bottom, which is the scythe actual pole, the actual staff piece. But yeah, other than that, all base and metal. So let's get to the setup. Here we go. All right, let's begin our setup here. So I have everything laid out now. That actually took a pretty long time. There's a lot of zip ties, but now that everything's out, I have not taken the head out to look. So I want to do that here so we can see my reaction here, because I have seen it at the building, but not seen it since. And I remember it being huge, which you can already tell it is. His hat is awesome quality too. Love that hat. Feels like it actually has opposable wire in it as well. So right now, oh, it definitely does. Right now, we have to pose this. Yep, it looks amazing. So this is going to be posed out of his face here. It's already attached really well, it seems, but he looks so amazing. Now, he has a moving mouth, which is technically the only 12-footer that does. The witch does, but she's not really 12 feet. This one is amazing. That is so cool. I think this is probably the scariest 12-footer, in my opinion. It looks just terrifying. And his phrases and just overall size and appearance, very scary compared to most. Okay, so now let's begin with our poles. So this is our one side, and then this is our normal side. So A1 is going to be over here, making sure that snap lock is on the correct side, which is on the right there. So that's A1 to A1, and then like I said, this is our normal side. So this is going to be A to A, just normal like that. So then we have our B's. Again, sticking with that same logic over here, we have B to B on this side. That's going to snap there. And then we have B1 over here on this side. And then we have B1 over on this side. And that's going to be the same for the next ones as well. We have C1 up here. And actually, it's getting pretty tall already. So I'm going to attach these last ones, and then we're going to move the camera already because these are some huge, huge legs. So C1 is up there. Then we have C right here, and these both lead to D, which is going to be our hip piece, actually. No more leg pulls after this. All right, so there we go. All of the poles there. But before we move up, I do want to say we have 4 W poles, which are right here, and these are the actual pieces that go as supports for the base. So if this guy starts wobbling, or if you're setting this up outside, definitely use those. He also comes with tethers and stuff like that if you need extra support, but those are definitely needed. Right now, I'm not going to use them unless I actually need them later on, but no wind in here, nothing that should knock it down, so should be good. But let's move the camera up and continue to the torso. All right, so now let's get his pants on. So making sure the straw is out of the way, we're just going to slide this leg down. There's a front sticker on this side right there, so you know what leg goes where. And then we're going to do the same here for this side. And then once we have these down, we can attach our hip piece right here. And once we have this attached, we can actually do the hip loop. And the hip loop is going to allow us to bring the pants up to there and complete its form. All right, so hip loop now up here. And these are 4 different prongs that just sit in place like that on this side, and then do the same thing over here on this side like that. And then once these are fully in, there we go, we can then bring our pants up. And these 2 things right here, we're not doing anything with. Those are for tethers. So if you're outside, use those. Right now inside, so that doesn't really matter. And then there's a few Velcros you want to just attach around the hip loop. So if there's any tugs with wind or anything, these stay on looking good. So let's continue up. Now in a second here, I'm actually going to lay this down similar to the other 12-footers so we can continue without needing a huge ladder. But first we're going to attach E and F. So E is right here. It's got this light right here that gives the fire type effect in the chest. And then let's grab F, which is this whole torso piece. And this is actually similar to the mummy and to the 9-foot zombie because this is going to hold the ribcage piece. It's going to snap lock in there like that, and it's looking pretty good. All right, so next we have the shoulder piece here. So you're going to attach blue to blue and pink to pink. So what this is an extra piece that I just added on. It's these 3 hooks, and this just adds more to the back form. So it really just helps on the back. It's not an exactly needed piece if you're going to see it from the front always, but still cool that they added it just in case there are views from it in your haunt from the side or the back. And now we have his shirt. This is then going to slide over the entire thing, and then we're going to Velcro it down to the pants. All right, and now that we have the shirt slid over, now we can actually go through the bottom and slide in the head. All right, so now that we have the head on, I'm going to stand him back up, and we'll do the arms and scythe. All right, so now he has stood up. He has his rib cage on. That's just 2 snap locks on the sides and 1 on the top. So pretty simple step there. And then we can work on his arms. So here I have his right arm actually, and this is L to L connection. And as you can see, that forms the right arm there. And then his left arm is an end to end connection right there. All right, so now I have his arms on. So now what we want to do is attach this collar piece. So it unvelcros in the back, and we're going to actually wrap it around his neck, kind of like a clown collar. All right, so now we're back on the ground because we're going to assemble the scythe here. So we have O to O connection right here. And this just pushes in and then locks by twisting like that. That is a fully locked piece right there. Now we can go over to the other side. As you can see, that's the bottom. So we're going to go over to the other side here. And this is P to P. And here's our P piece. Do the same thing, push it down and click to lock. And then finally we have Q to Q. We want to pull this pin right here like that, and then we will attach Q right here. And then we can push the pin back through and put on the clip to lock it in place. So here is the full scythe right there. And that thing's probably about 8 feet, maybe 9. So very, very large scythe, although very, very light. So that's pretty good. So now let's connect it to his hands. All right, so first I slid back the clothing, so this is easily accessible. And now we are going to snap lock that in like that. And then we have this snap lock over here, also easily accessible. And then we'll snap this in. And then our final step here is just attaching the Velcro right there. And also adjusting straw and stuff as needed. We can also do that after. There we go, 1 Velcro there and 1 on top, which completes the Scarecrow setup. All right, let's go to the demo. All right, he is fully wired up and ready to go. Let's plug him in.
The hardest for your life, and don't look back. Halloween is upon us, and spirits haunt the night. Beware to all, for my side is sharp and sure to fright. Is upon us, and spirits haunt the night. Beware to all, for my side is sharp and sure to fright.
Alright, so there he was, the 12-foot Scarecrow from Lowe's. This thing I would say is definitely the scariest of the 12-foots, and his detail is definitely one of the best. Looks amazing. I really like the lights on this guy. The chest and the eyes look really good. Again, very scary, especially at night. And I also really like this guy's voice and phrases. It's actually really, really creepy compared to most. There's a lot of the 12-footers that are just statics, or a lot of the larger props entirely are just statics. But this guy has the moving jaw and has a great voice for being a 12-footer. His scythe was a great touch, and I'm glad he's actually carrying it. A lot of the bigger props just have the scythe touching the floor, being supported by the base, but this guy is fully carrying it himself, which I find really cool. So this guy is $398, which I think is pretty fair actually. For a 12-foot skeleton, that is $300. This thing being $98 more, I would say it's definitely more reasonable price than most other 12-footers, especially for that detail and the movement. This is the first of the larger ones to have a moving mouth. But yeah, there he was. Again, huge thank you to Lowe's for sending me this guy, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.